What that is, can I see what that is? Please calm down.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to a lecture on the different types of businesses that one can establish. In this lecture, we're going to cover all of the types of businesses that you see listed here: sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability company, S Corp, C Corp, and nonprofit. And we will go through each of these. Again, these are the different types of businesses, which is just a repeat of what was on the previous page. So let's talk a little bit about a sole proprietorship. So a sole proprietorship, if you want to start your business, this would be a great way to begin. It's good for low-risk businesses, and it only has one owner. The taxes are filed under your personal income taxes. So what that means is, let's say you own a candy store and you made money with your candy store. Those profits are then transferred onto your personal income taxes when it's time for you to file your taxes. Again, this is usually, a sole proprietorship is usually established when you want to start your own business and you're personally liable for all debts and obligations of the business. And if you are a sole proprietor, you do not have to file your taxes with the SEC. In a partnership, it's when you're establishing a business with two or more people, and there are two types of partnerships. The first is an LP, which is a limited partnership. And this is where one partner has more control than the other, and they must pay payroll taxes, the one that has more control. So this, an example of that would be you go into business with your cousin and you own 51% and your cousin owns 49%. And because you have that 51%, you have more influence over any decisions that are going to be made at the company. And then there's the LLP, the limited liability partnership, where everyone has equal control. And this is, it's a 50-50 split on ownership, but the debts from one partner cannot be held against another partner, right? So as you're filing profits and losses with your personal income tax, if one of the partner racks up a whole bunch of debt, that will not go on to the other 50% holder of the partnership. And this you see used a lot in attorney firms. As I said, the profits are passed through personal income taxes. And this is another form of business that is not filed, that does not have to file with the SEC. The limited liability corporation, you'll see that mostly with LLC. It protects your personal assets and liabilities from the business. So let's say you own a business and someone goes to sue you because they didn't receive a product or a product was damaged. They cannot go after your personal assets. Right? They can only go after the business. The profits and losses can be passed through personal income taxes, or it can be set up as a business income taxes. That's a choice that the owner would have to make. If you decide that you want to pass the profits and losses through your personal income taxes, one can avoid having to pay corporate taxes, which would lower your tax rate. So that's another reason why a lot of companies go this route. But you must pay self-employment tax contributions towards Medicare and Social Security. And this is another form of business that is not filed with the LLC. I'm sorry, with the SEC. And then for corporations, there are two types of corporations. And the first one that I'm going to talk about is a C Corp. And it's a legal entity that is completely separate from the owners. So you have your personal life and then you have your business life, and they do not overlap at all. And this is going to provide you with the strongest protection against personal liability, but you do have to pay taxes on profits, and those taxes are at the corporate rate. Excuse me, and you also have to pay taxes on dividends if you decide to give them out to yourself or any employees that you may have. With C Corps, there's a lot of record keeping that has to be done. Everything needs to be lined out, all of your financial transactions, what's going in, what's coming out, everything has to be in order. And these types of corporations are usually established because a company is getting ready to go public. And once a company goes public, which means they're going to be traded on the stock exchange, they must file with the SEC. So with an S Corp, some profits and losses can be passed through personal income tax, and this is up to a certain amount. And some states differ with the amounts that can be passed through your personal income tax. Some states differ and they do not recognize S Corps at all. So when you're passing these profits and losses through your personal income tax, what it does is it limits the company from being subjected to corporate tax. Again, that will lower your rate. With S Corps, you cannot have more than 100 shareholders, and they must all be US citizens. So you pay taxes on profits that cannot be claimed on personal income. And again, just like in the C Corp, this requires more extensive record keeping. Next, we have nonprofit company, and these are companies that are established for charity, education, religion, educational work. Nonprofits do not pay state or federal income taxes on profits. And just like in the S Corp, some profits and losses can be passed through your personal income. To establish oneself as a nonprofit company, you have to file with the IRS to gain 5013C approval. The organizational rules are very similar to a C Corp, and the profits cannot be distributed to members or political campaigns. So the one thing that all business structures have in common is that any formation of a company must file with the IRS. And with a few exceptions, some companies must file with the SEC. So anybody who is publicly traded on the stock exchange has to file with the SEC. If you're not trading on the SEC, you have to file your taxes with the IRS. So just a brief overview, companies, industries, and firms. Omaya Company is a form of business involved in revenue generating activities. An industry is a combination of companies in the same line of business. We have the auto industry, telecom industry, aerospace industry. You know, in aerospace, it would be, you know, Delta, Alaska Airlines, American Airlines. And then a firm is a form of business involved in revenue generating activities, and it's typically established for professional services, such as a law firm or a consulting firm. So in summary, we've learned about the several types of businesses where some are good for startups and some are good for going public. Some are established to take advantage of the taxes where you can pass some profits and losses through your personal income tax. And finally, any type of business that you want to start, you must file your taxes with the IRS. And this is the same as with your personal income. You have to file your taxes every year. Okay, I hope that was good, and talk to you soon.